Приветствую, странники! С вами, как всегда, Таки Дейс. У нас тут накопилось несколько побочек с вами. Я даже не знаю, идти по сюжетке, но в принципе я всегда как-то старался все-таки выполнять все побочки. Поэтому мне это не дает покоя, и поэтому мы все-таки давайте выполним все побочки. Так, это сведения о бомбе, да? И еще квест у нас где-то там. Ну и где ты у нас? Сенбрек Котел, да? Это все в этой пустынной локации. Ой, перебор. Ничего себе, тут квестов накопилось.
Trouble with the ledgers. Shouldn't he be asking Otto for help?
Главное, тут квесты, и там квесты накопились.
What could be wrong with Torgor? He seemed well enough when I last saw him.
Сейчас наберу здесь квестов.
Hopefully it's nothing. But I should speak to Blackthorn just in case.
Да хорош.
Blackthorn, do you have a moment?
Not really, no.
This won't take long. I just wanted to ask how you're getting on. August was worried about you, that you might still be doubting your craft, even after learning the trick of that cuirass. Is there something else weighing on your mind? Perhaps sharing your thoughts might help.
That bastard's like a dog with a bone. Still, he's got a keen eye, I'll give him that. He's just, well, Karen showed me something. Something I've never seen before.
And that was?
A sword. An odd-looking thing with a single-edged blade. The metal itself wasn't anything to write home about, but fuck me. The edge on it. You could slice a man clean in two with a weapon like that, and he'd be halfway home before he even realised he'd been cut.
So that's what's troubling you?
Nah. Not troubling me exactly. More distracting. Can't stop thinking, how do you get an edge that sharp? It's driving me mad.
And if you knew how to do it, we could arm the curse breakers with even better blades.
That's about the size of it, yeah.
I'll see what I can find out. Sharper swords are always welcome. And we can't have our master blacksmith being distracted.
You're a soft touch, you know that. But I can't say I'm not grateful for it. Good luck, eh?
Thank you. Let's see what Karen knows about this sword.
Ну, в принципе, тут, как обычно, принеси подай сейчас. В большинстве случаев они быстрые.
I got your note. You think something's wrong with Torgor?
So you can read. Congratulations. But I didn't say I were wrong with him. I said something weren't right. He's not been eating me treats. He used to love cracking the bones from Molly's boiled brown, but now he won't so much as look at them. Didn't like him. Which is why I'm of a mind that his mind's on something else. You've not been working him too hard, have you?
No harder than usual. Is that it, boy? Do you need a rest?
What was it he said he was? A frost wolf?
That's what the lawsman seems to think.
Then maybe this all has something to do with whatever it is that's woken inside him.
I suppose things have been different since Rosalith. Perhaps Hippocrates knows something.
Instead of everything, you mean? Perhaps.
You're looking well, Karen.
What do you want? Out with it.
I want to know about the sword you showed Blackthorn. Single-edged and extremely sharp.
Running around after him again, are you?
I suppose I am, yes. But I need to help him find out how to work an edge like that. It's driving him to distraction.
Little wonder, I suppose. There's not many like that make it as far as the twins, and those that do go straight into private collections. Which made it nice and easy finding a buyer.
Can you tell me who bought it? Where is it now?
You think I tell people who my clients are? Suppose you're not likely to go nicking him off me, are you now? Fine. If you stop mooning at me like that. Lord Ignac's the man you want. Dalmekian bloke. Collects weapons and the like. And he's got more money than sense, which is why he's one of my favourite clients. Reckon he'll still be at the inn in Dalamil, where I left him.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh, and he's a touch eccentric, if you take my meaning.
I appreciate the warning. Lawsman, I need to ask you about talk.
He isn't ill, is he?
I don't think so. But according to Lady Karen, she says he's hardly been touching his bones of late, and she believes it may.
I rather think she might be right.
Да, тут если все-таки квесты не выполнять, нехилое количество накопится. Ну, в принципе, если бы не квесты, наверное, часов на 5 было бы по сюжету уже дальше.
It may well be that the Bones Lady Karen is accustomed to provide frost wolves, after all, habitually prey upon far larger animals, whose bone, as to where one might find a suitable substitute. Some antelopes that graze the meadows of eastern...
I don't recall ever seeing any of that.
And little wonder. The oldest and largest such creatures rarely...
Я тоже таких не помню.
Antelope sighting I recall hearing about took place.
Even so.
Good hunting, Clark.
Is that the thing Tomes helped to build?
Nick told me she was building a ship.
Clive, did you get my letter?
That's why I'm here.
Shh. Otto won't be listening.
Is this better?
A little. Listen, I've some bad news. It turns out the hideaway may
А как мы задолжали? 20 миллионов гил было.
And it's maybe my fault. Sadly, that square turned out to be more of a... I can straighten it out, I swear, but I'm gonna need help keeping it from...
Be late for that.
There you are!
So let me get this straight. And instead of coming straight to me, you get Clive to come to you. The man in charge of the place you've been cheerfully trying to bankrupt. Well?
Oh, just Martha. and the dame, and, well, Lady
5 миллионов гил.
We owe 3 of our most trusted friends.
Each. 5 million.
Каждый.
They lent us the bulk of the money we
Куда это вдеваете?
and, well, I must have made some sort of...
Those ledgers were my responsibility.
We have that much to hand? I can always ask my uncle.
No, we don't. And no, you, after the king's ransom we had off him, he deserves better than to see our begging. But besides, we'll need to learn to stand on our own.
Я что-то не заметил. Нам дали 20 миллионов гил. Как было все здесь, так и осталось.
Is there anything I can do to help?
There might be. How'd you fancy taking these to Martha and the dame?
Rocks.
Rocks, he says. Little something Sid and I set aside for, and I reckon 15 million in overdue debt probably qualifies. I just hope our
I'm sure there will be.
Should be me, mate. But you know how it is with this place. Orders to bark, arses...
I know. Which is what?
Go. Do you know why I only gave Master Clive here?
Because you'd rather...
Because I'd rather Lady Karen killed you.
Well, I suppose this is goodbye then.
Don't worry. I'm sure Karen will understand.
Really?
Так, в чем проблема? У нас 3 камня, 2 дали, это 20 миллионов, мы должны 15. В чем проблема? Почему мы должны отдавать больше? Непорядок.
Fancy a look at the list, do you? I'm sorry to drag you into this. It's just I couldn't think who else to ask, and you're always. Here you go. Think you can help?
Так, подождите-ка, что-то я не понял.
What are you doing? I'm sorry to drag you in. It's just.
А, все, я должен сдать.
Anything catch your eye?
Ну и заодно тут сразу возьмем. А, все равно не сразу туда перемещает. Я думал, прям к человеку отправят. Ну ладно, хорошо. Да, конечно, графика это вообще супер. Я представляю, что какой-нибудь в будущем там Skyrim 6 или еще какие-нибудь игры будут вот с такой же графикой, только можно будет везде еще заползать, ползать и исследовать. Это вообще будет колоссальные игры. Насколько будут просто огроменные они. Единственное, конечно, в этом и минус будет сразу же, насколько нужно будет времени свободного, чтобы исследовать все это и проходить, изучать, наслаждаться игрой. Ой, это вообще... Здесь столько времени взять, к сожалению. Привет. О, 30-е. Поднялись. Наша напарница все, очухалась.
So what do you think? Really? Oh, aye. There's trouble up ahead.
I take it there's danger on the road.
Oh, what about this fearsome-looking fellow? Oh, no doubt. Well met, friend. My brother and I have been tasked with finding...
How does a merchant misplace his card?
Oh, the man's a coward. When he thought goblins might come a-snarling...
He sent the 2 of us to fetch it, but it's gone. Now, I'm not much of a thinker.
My brother's right on all accounts. And by my estimation...
We may have seen our share of action, true, but we've not got this...
You, however, have the look of a man who needn't... Chances are they'll come for you either way. But if you promise to lend us a hand...
Well, if I'm going to have to deal with them
You've clearly got a fine head.
We're lucky you came up now. Hoping to make a heavy purse in Boklad. Reckon he won't be forking over the rest of our fee if we don't find those goods.
All right. Just don't expect me.
No. You just put an end to those bandits and point us in the right direction.
Как-то это все подозрительно. И куда? А, прям тут.
I'm not sure I trust those two. But if there are bandits lying in wait, I should probably take care of them.
Look lively, you lot. We've got guests.
Ну давай. По одному. Нифига себе. А ты живучий. Оу. $720 уже опыта.
That's them dealt with. Now, where's that cart?
Спрятали?
Getting all of this out of here will be a nightmare.
Seems we found ourselves.
Found the cart and didn't leave a single bastard.
And how exactly will he be getting his goods out?
You leave that to us. After all, it'd be wrong to make such.
You've done your part.
Почему они не смогли убить?
Now piss off.
There's no need to be so rude. What if we want his help again?
Тут пройти 2 метра было. Слишком странный квест, на самом деле. Ну ладно. Нам бы, конечно, телепорт открыть здесь. Не помешал бы. Ну ладно. А то у нас тут, в принципе, квестов-то много накопилось. Ага.
I see the Dalmex lag behind Rosaria when it comes to bridge building.
The fallen ruin should hold at least.
The path continues on the other side.
О, эти тут. Давно не виделись. А мне нравится это. Хорошо летает. Ладно, телепорт откроем здесь, и можно будет, в принципе, по побочке повыполнять.
So this is Zemeckis.
The land of the gods. It's even more impressive than I imagined. I remember being captivated by the story as a child.
Long, long ago, man was overcome by avarice and challenged the gods in a bid to win their power. The final battle took place here, at these falls. Or so the legend goes. If anyone ever manages to plumb those depths, perhaps we'll learn if there's any truth to the tale.
That the gods emerged victorious and punished man for his defiance by visiting upon him 2 curses.
Dominance and bearers. To tell the truth, I always thought it strange that the dominant and their icons were deemed a curse. Back home, the dominant inherited the throne. They were admired and exalted, not spurned. Whenever I got to that part of the story, I always assumed there must be something I'd misunderstood.
You had a lot of storybooks, didn't you? In your room, I mean. When we were young.
The old legends were always my favorites. Epic battles between gods and men. Father encouraged me to read as much as I could. He thought it good for my education.
You really were a boy like any other, weren't you?
Just look at this place. It's enough to make you believe the legends are true.
I know.
We're not far from Boklad. The road will be busier up ahead.
Then we'll have to keep our wits about us. Clive? Something wrong?
Nothing. It's nothing.
I see the reports are true, Father. You have surrendered the throne to Olivier.
I have. Emperor Olivier shall rebuild the Holy Empire of Sambrec.
How is he to rule an empire? He is but a boy.
I shall advise him until he comes of age.
Father, please.
Or for as long as I am able. The empire we seek to build needs young blood to rule it, and I can think of none better suited to the task. There is other news, Dion. Hugo Kupka is dead, and Drake's Fang destroyed. The pillars of the Republic have fallen. Ere long, the Imperial banner shall fly over every city in Storm. And then, Valisthea. All shall bow before their Emperor.
Father, these are the words of a tyrant.
They are the words of a god. The Emperor whom I gladly serve. Great Greeker, made flesh.
Return to your camp, Dion, and ready your forces. It is time to show the world the true power of Sanbreque.
Father. I find you much changed. Is this truly the path you wish to tread? Or are these the ambitions of another? Of Ultima, perhaps?
What nonsense is this? I speak my mind, and my mind only. Though I do owe Annabella thanks for reminding me of certain truths regarding the nature of nations, of rulers, and of the divine.
You would trust the words of this traitress? She betrayed her country. She slew her husband.
You have ever been an invaluable servant to Sanbreque, Prince Dion. I trust you will continue to serve your Emperor in the wars to come.
The canker! Silence! Insolent wretch! You will bend the knee. All else is heresy.
Sire, forgive me.
This audience is over. Come, your Radiance. The Rowena Syndicate awaits your pleasure.
Oh, not another meeting with silly old men. They're so boring. I'm hungry, Father. Can't we have luncheon instead?
Does it pain you that you will not inherit your father's throne?
I have suffered worse.
Count your blessings, Dion. For a base-born child to be chosen by Bahamut is miracle enough. You have risen high on his wings, but you shall rise no higher, lest your impure blood stain the throne.
What do you know of my blood?
Как же раздражает мне эта королева. Просто ненавижу ее.
Infiltrating the Dominion won't be easy with the Imperials on high alert.
No. His Radiance has lost one capital already. We can be sure Sylvester will do everything in his power to hold on to Twinside. His troops are well-trained and increasingly battle-hardened. But it's not as if we can wait for the siege to end.
Очень удобно, но вот это каст, конечно, долгий. И сбивается, что он совершенно неудобно. Вот. И накопить надо попробовать. И не умереть в этот момент. Ну, такое себе. Много времени теряется на это. Все-таки, наверное, буду его использовать, когда уже не в отрубе. Скорее всего, так. По-другому пока что это очень неудобно.
Refugees.
And they're all making for the crystalline dominion.
Because they don't know how to live without the crystal's blessing.
There are no crystals here.
This is where we're supposed to meet Goots, isn't it?
That's right. He said he'd wait for us here after replenishing his supplies. I dare say he'll have finished by now.
Let me carry your goods.
Наконец-таки телепорт открыли.
Out of my sight. You won't find a finer array this side of the strait.
Хотя, скорее всего, лучше можешь подлечиться. Ну-ка. Понятненько. Никак. Это... Получается, целая локация идет здесь, да? А вот тут что у нас? Такое чувство, что здесь тоже что-то будет находиться. Не зря же это поделено в локацию. Так, ладно, давайте побочки выполним.
Did you hear that? The gates to heaven calling. I want to...
What am I going to do without sweet water and oil of talc?
Milady, I come bearing gifts.
Gifts? Whatever is the occasion. Oh my. Clive, you really have outdone yourself.
Otto asked me to give it to you. To settle the hideaway's debt with the Veil. And to compensate you for the time it took us to do so.
You disappoint me, Clive. I thought you might finally be warming to me. Tell Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him as much the first time around. The man owes me nothing, nor does the hideaway. My contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly. It was the least I could do.
You once told me Sid did you a kindness. I'd like to do the same. Please, accept it. For my sake. And for Otto's. For all of us. For all you've done.
It is rather fetching, isn't it? Very well. Otto is lucky to have you, Clive. I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the hideaway are the closest thing he has to family.
Otto had a son.
Long ago, yes. Sid told me Otto lost him when he was just a boy, and blamed himself for not being able to stop it. I don't know how it happened, whether there was anything he could have done, but it was clear that it weighed heavily on him.
I didn't know.
How could you have? I doubt anyone did. Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear his sorrows in stoic silence. An ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded by friends desperate to help them.
I'm beginning to see that.
Так, а дальше куда нам? Так, не туда побежал точно.
Clive, we weren't expecting you.
I wasn't expecting to be here, but it seems we still owe you a considerable amount of coin for your help with our rebuilding efforts. And though I doubt it's what you were expecting, we were hoping you'd take this as payment.
A star, Ruby? I can't accept this. It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right buyer.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me again. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? I'd have expected Otto. Bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it? The old goat working himself to death again?
Something like that. Most days I think he's the only reason the hideaway's still standing.
Same as always, eh? Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander, word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never get off the ground. Sid may have been the face of the hideaway, but Otto's always been the backbone. And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it. That Otto would just give up.
His death was hard on everyone. But it must have hit Otto hardest of all.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you as Sid's replacement, and rallied the rest around you. I reckon what he saw in Sid, he saw in you too. And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as handsome, neither. That, and you keep good company.
I suppose I do. Goat will want to know the stones were delivered. If he's still with us.
А, прямо здесь и находится у нас. Так. Угу. Я не понимаю, где здесь тогда и охота находится? Мне же придется все здесь отбегать. Такое себе, конечно. Такое себе. Ладно. Что поделать? Так, и нам... Нет, не сюда. Хоть я и не любитель Чокоба, но в принципе так быстрее будет. Вот были подозрения как раз в этой области. 2 из 3 я вчера отбежал здесь. В 3 так не забегал. Если здесь не будет сейчас охоты, значит где-то дальше, но неизвестно где. Так, тебя отбегаем. Вас тоже. Не хочу сейчас ни с кем драться.
We'll find one bigger than that. You hungry, Torgal?
Хо-хо-хо. Ни единого шанса. А, он заморожен был. Он не успел. Он прям сейчас, что ли, разделал? Чисто мясо отделал, такой, на тебе кость, держи.
You do know you can take that with you, Torgal. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you've got your appetite back. Come on, boy.
К сожалению, охоты и не тут у нас. А нет, подождите-ка, давайте еще дальше углубимся. Может, все-таки это там? Кстати, я только сейчас подумал, что у нас же Феникс идет, да? А самый фри-то будет? Создает круг вокруг себя несколько движений. Угу. А, и смотрите, и будет блокировать вражеские атаки. Тоже прикольно. Угу. Так, ну тут-то мы все прокачали уже. Так, подождите-ка. Ну это же надо ставить. Да. Я вот очень надеюсь. Хотя если тут сейчас охота, давайте сохранимся, потому что там противник С-класса, и тогда, я думаю, он нам напиздюлит. Да, вот он. О, так. Вот он здесь находится.
This one has a little more life left in it. All right then.
Ух. Нет, рано. Пока мы не осилим его. Не осилим. Хотя теперь у нас... зато показано, где он находится. Почти убили, на самом деле. Если бы его еще оглушили, мы бы убили. Но дамаг чересчур большой. Если только, конечно, эликсиры покупать, ну это такое себе.
People take notice of wealthy men. Shouldn't be too hard to track down Karen's collector.
The same Drake's fang is gone. The whole Mother Crystal.
My reputation will be ruined! Ruined!
Calm yourself, Lord Ignac, I beg of you, before you do yourself a mischief.
Pardon the intrusion, but...
Out! Get out! I paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed. Leave me be!
Please, allow me to apologize. His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests arriving unannounced.
Radim! Get rid of the filthy oaf this instant!
Very good, Lord Ignac. Would you mind stepping outside for a moment?
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? Oh, no. That's just how his lordship is. Though the morning's events have left him somewhat fractious. He has been dispossessed of his luggage, you see. The thieves also made away with a considerable amount of coin. Coin the innkeeper will soon be keen to collect.
I don't suppose a certain blade was among the stolen items. A single-edged sword. It was purchased from a merchant friend of mine.
Ah, you know Lady Karen. Yes, I'm afraid it was.
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac's luggage. But I have one condition.
You have but to state it. You are welcome to anything that is within my power to grant.
I want an audience with Lord Ignac. A few minutes should be enough. Then I'll be on my way.
A condition I would be a fool to refuse. Of course, you shall have your audience.
I don't suppose you saw where the thieves went?
I did not, no. Though some discreet inquiries made on his lordship's behalf mean that I know where you might find them. The bandit's bed. Every ill-gotten coin in Dalamal is said to pass through that disreputable corner of the Valcroy.
And that's where I'm heading.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence, and arrange for an audience upon your triumphant return.
That will be very kind of you.
Farewell, and best of luck.
Come on. Fly, Ambrosia. All right.
We've got company! Come on, lads, let's tear the bastard's head off!
This must be Ignac's luggage. Nothing seems to be damaged. All right. Let's get it back to Dalamil.
I hear I have you to thank for the return of my effects. What shall I call you, my good man?
Wyvern. Glad to make your acquaintance.
A formidable name indeed. Well, Wyvern, I appear to be in your debt. Redeem here tells me you wished for an audience. Is that all?
A few moments of your time should suffice, yes.
You're a peculiar fellow, Wyvern. All right, speak.
Master Wyvern was wondering if you could tell him about a certain single-edged sword you recently acquired.
Oh, a true work of art, that one. Karen drove me hard on the price, but I would have sold her Radim here to get my hands on that sword. It was made in the Outer Isles, far beyond the Twins, and is used exclusively by the practitioners of a unique school of swordsmanship. They believe no combat should ever exceed a single strike, and hone their blades to such perfection that none ever does. Each sword is made for that one perfect stroke, and for that stroke only, they crack upon a second blow. There's a brutal sort of beauty to it, really.
But how do they hone such an edge?
Fine question. Why, they use a whetstone, of course. Whetstones, rather. A whole array of them, ranging from the coarse to the fine. 10,000 licks with the sharpening stone, then 10,000 more. But it is the final stone which lends the blade its legendary sharpness. A mineral quite foreign to this great realm of ours. And that is the key. The secret ingredient. Wyvern, it occurs to me that my little lecture is hardly equal to services rendered. Take this, together with my regards. The very stone of which I spoke, far rarer among collectors than even the blade itself, and a far more fitting payment.
Thank you.
Pardon the intrusion, my lordship. However, it is long past time we prepared ourselves to depart.
So it is. I am locked in bitter competition with a rival collector of curiosities. I am one step ahead of the unscrupulous scoundrel, but he is hard at my heels.
Are there many other collectors out there?
Too many to count, but only one do I consider my nemesis. Lord Byron Rosfield, and is a perennial thorn in my side.
I can imagine.
Farewell, Wyvern, may our paths cross again. Radim, we mustn't dawdle.
I think his lordship is rather taken with you, Master Wyvern. Thank you again for your assistance. Coming, my lordship. I'll be right there.
Trust Uncle Byron to find such an interesting rival. Now, let's see what Blackthorn makes of this whetstone, shall we?
Ну, может, хоть что-то новенькое появится. Блин, тут, конечно, локация здоровая, так если посмотреть. Я так понимаю, это если тут пойти, это вот так, вот так, вот так, так. И сюда еще. Чистиваетесь. Да, конечно, на побочке очень много уходит времени на самом деле. Это еще мы охоту не сделали всю.
I noticed you and Torgal. So, Molly's left. That'll teach me for treating you. All right.
Нифига себе щеночек. Такого покормить, это жесть.
Speaking of which, I brought one for later.
You can, aye. In return, you can thank Tomes for me.
I was just on my way to see him. Sorry for the wait, but hopefully you'll agree it was worth it.
You learned something about that sword, then?
I did better than that.
Whetstone?
Yes. But not one you'll find anywhere in Valisthea.
No wonder I couldn't get a sight. One hit and all done, eh? Might not be so bad if all we ever fought with you. Good luck on the battlefield. Your second opponent would be...
Even so, is there
Somewhere it could be used?
I think so, yeah. With this whetstone and the right kind of steel. But there'd be no replacing this little rock once I worn it down. I reckon we get a dozen swords from it. Swords that the curse breakers wouldn't know how to wield properly. Nah. No point trying to copy that thing. Be about as much use as a wax anvil. But finishing our blades with a whetstone this fine, and what's finer than fallen masonry, eh? Just imagine it. Good Valesthian steel with an edge. I won't make a copy, nah.
I'm sure the curse breakers will be just... Don't push...
Don't you worry about I'll be working day and night since I was half your age. And I'll still be here when you're long. Hey, I owe you one. August 2. It's good to know someone's look.
You'll be happy to hear you said that.
I'll see that my debt to you's paid. First new blade I make's got you. You come and find me when you've got them.
Right.
Так, это мне уже нравится. Экскалибур. Эскиз Экскалибур разблокирован. Так, это уже интересно. Так, смотрите. Как минимум уголек бомбы. Я думаю, что это мы уже знаем, где находится. И шкура Грималкина. Значит, нам Грималкин нужен и бомба. Мы сможем сделать. Алмазный меч. Кость белого змея. Интересно.
Anything else?
Ну, я чувствую, придется попросту не пробежаться.
Ah, Clive. Were you able to locate your quarry?
We were indeed, Lawsman. You pointed us in exactly the right direction. And Torgal's been a very happy hound ever since.
Very good, very good.
Lady Karen sends her thanks, by the way, for your part in solving the mystery.
Ah. But that reminds me. After your last visit, I found myself pondering Torgal's talents. Do you recall our conversation concerning Lady Jill's role in Torgal's transformation?
About how she somehow woke the power within him.
Precisely that. A reasonable conclusion, I thought. But one which raised certain questions in my mind. You see, the Fenrir of legend served Shiva and Shiva alone. And while the powers attributed to him are certainly impressive, the records imply they are somewhat different in nature to those you described Torgal as having used.
What are you suggesting?
That Torgal may be the beneficiary of more than one icon's power. Consider that in addition to Lady Jill, he has served as a loyal companion to you, your brother, and even the late Cid. In short, the icons hitherto near at hand, or should I say at paw, have been diverse and plenty, and that number has only grown as the realm's dominance have fallen to your sword. One can but speculate as to how all of this has affected Torgal.
He has seemed more fierce of late.
And if I am not mistaken, he will grow fiercer still. We are fortunate indeed to be able to count him amongst our allies and not our adversaries.
Oh, he's more than an ally. He's a friend.
how good it is to see you, Clive. I have compiled some new entries, if you would like to see them.
Достижение дали.
I believe you will find most interesting. You wish to study the tomes?
А кто тут у нас новенький? А, орки появились, точно. Точно. А, ну железные гиганты, ОТС, да. Так что он уже никак новенький. 3 врага осталось новых увидеть, и все. Вот какой-то вот айкон мне сегодня дает покоя. Что за айкон здесь будет? И 2 прислужника еще будет, я так понимаю. Просто такие долгие здесь что-то. До этого как-то побыстрее не проходитесь. Тут прям чувствуется, что они такие прям долгие. Так, бомбу надо будет все-таки убить. Попытаться найти. И змея. Змея.
So Lady Karen accept...
She was just too stopped. She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me I could stick my...
Karen refused pay.
I hope it wasn't saying...
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever.
One.
Че, издеваетесь? Опять идти?
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back, so... All done?
Так, ну со змеями я прав? Или нет? А, теперь он хотя бы показан, как выглядит. Как место неизвестно. Место уже известно. Ага, так, значит, у нас... летающие будут. Грималкин, вот. Грималкина надо убить. И... бомбу, да.
Lady Karen, Goad tells me you weren't happy with our offer. Would you prefer the debt was repaid in coin?
What debt? I don't recall lending any of you lot me hard-earned gil. I may have tossed a talent or two in the Hideaway's coffers, but those were donations, and you can hardly call it charity if you go asking for it back.
Of course not. But one good turn deserves another. And our circumstances have changed. Surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude of a pauper who happened to have become a prince.
Oh, so you're a prince now, are you? Fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed, then you're getting the rest whether you like it or not. Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might nab 1,000 talents for a star ruby. A canny one, meanwhile, might claim it were nicked from the belt of Sid the Outlaw himself and ask twice as much. Might be I already have a buyer in mind. Might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's only eclipsed by a guile in commerce. You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all. Just be sure to tell her that it's always a pleasure doing business.
I hear you ended up delivering all 3 stones. Thanks to this lump. I sometimes wonder what I pay you for.
Speaking of which, I still haven't been paid last month's wages.
Oh, so you remember what's owed to you then? Get your ass behind that disc of yours and don't get up before those ledgers are square.
Right away.
I've seen that before.
You have, yeah. Plenty of times. It was the only goblet Sid ever used, either out of habit or because the filthy sock.
I knew so little about him.
Like most people.
Martha and the Dame both seem to have fond memories. How long did you know Sid before?
Before he died. Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship. He bought passage to... I forget where. We set up drinking island rum till the morning bell dragged me back to my jeep. Quit my post not long after that. On account of making a fine maid, but me and Sid stayed close. Promising we'd one day... That was... before the magic woke inside my son soon after his first name day. And there was no hiding his neck.
Couldn't you and your family have...
My family wanted the monster taken away. I couldn't turn my back on him. And I couldn't for the life of me understand how they... Luckily, it was him who stood beside me when... all I wanted, him who cried for me, him who swore he'd do everything. And he was true to his word, too. Left the Royal Army once and for all. His ranks, his ribbons, threw away everything he had. All to right a wrong that no... I knew then. He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall. But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me. Just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know this place would be fucked without you. Love you, you grumpy old sod.
This note.
Hmm? What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone? I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shoved people in the right direction, and I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather go at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
But that's...
This'll do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have.
Колоссальный долгий квест, конечно. Фух, ладно. Ну, хоть двинемся сегодня дальше по сюжетке или нет? Что-то это все затянулось.
Let me carry your goods. I'm cheap.
Peaches and pears.
Ну, Эскалибур.
Wonders from across the water. Come one, come all. Feast your eyes. Good sir, can I interest you in...
How much? For a measly crust of bread?
You won't find any cheaper. Not nowadays. But you're more than welcome to look.
The Empire's unlawful and illegitimate occupation of the crystalline dominion is still in effect. Only those whose business in Twinside has been officially approved by the Republican Army will be permitted to cross the border. All who seek entry are to form a line and ready their documents for inspection.
It looks like we aren't the only ones who are eager to leave.
And they're checking everyone.
Can't you make an
Not for the likes of you.
We won't get through without that pass. Let's go and find Good, shall we? He must be around here somewhere.
You won't find anything of this quality in Twinside.
Где он тут спрятался у нас?
Come, taste my peaches. They're sweet as
I'll take the large one.
Ah, Good. There you are.
Clive, I'm so sorry. Don't tell Nan, will you?
Slow down, Good. Just tell us what happened.
It's me trader's pass. It's gone. We cannot ride the caravan without it. We won't even be able to get through the flipping checkpoint.
Do you remember when you last saw it?
It was in my pocket a minute ago. Then a bairn bumped into me and... Here. You don't think that they might have nicked it, do you?
It wouldn't surprise me. A busy market like this is prime territory for pickpockets.
So, to get the pass back, we need to find this child. Where would we even start?
I know where! I've got a pal in Bock lad who might be able to help us. No one knows more about what goes on round here than she does.
Where do we find her?
She's the owner of the Crimson Caravans, up that way. Sign's got a red chocobo on it.
No time like the present.
You two go on ahead. I'm gonna check the rest of my stuff, make sure no one else is missing.
All right. We'll meet you there.
Let's keep an eye out. This red chocobo, then.
And the other on our purses.
It's next to the checkpoint.
Peaches and pears. Peaches and
Нет, все-таки надо тут тоже будет все это открыть, но у меня очень странное, конечно, чувство, где же они могут прятаться здесь по охоте. Не представляю. Так, ну что-то, да-да, дорогие мои странники, пожалуй, на этом мы прервемся. С вами был, как всегда, Наоки Ёсида. Подписывайтесь на мой канал, ставьте палец вверх, оставляйте свои комментарии, чтобы быть в курсе новых видеороликов, нажимайте на колокольчик. Всем до встречи, пока.